Well, hello Taurus, this is Joe at Divine Daily, and I'm going to do a what you need to know for May 2020. This could be about anything. We'll see what it is that's for your highest good to know, what you may not know, what you need to know. This is really just a general check-in for May, even though I did May readings. And again, this can't be for every Taurus. This is going to be for those of you, you know that it's for you because you'll feel something. It'll fit with you. You won't have to stretch it or force it in your circumstances. Before we get into any tarot cards, I'm just going to pull a couple quick oracle cards, and then I will set the camera down and we will look at the cards and see what we get. So with that said, I do want to point out that I do get quite a few emails about readings, personal readings. I do them. I'm pretty full up right now until sometime in May, but I am available down the road. Also, I do in these types of readings do read cards that jump out and fall out. I usually don't read reversals though in this type of setting. It can be a little too much. I try to keep these videos as short as possible without them going on forever. So anyway, we are going to pull a couple cards first before we get to the tarot. And ooh, you have Awakened Awareness. So this is pretty cool. And Taurus, before we get into the tarot cards, I was kind of sitting and thinking to myself what it is that Taurus needs to know. What is it that some of you are feeling and thinking in May? What is the highest potential in May? And it's kind of funny because I got this like mental picture of the raging bull, you know, and that's of course Taurus, you know, is the bull. But to me it was like it was tamed and it was being kept at bay. And I almost got this kind of like picture of Snow White and having this like kind of magical enchanted time in May where you know, you're very grounded, maybe out in nature. And it just seemed kind of interesting to me that I could almost see some of you connecting with animals and nature in a way that's almost kind of magical and mystical. Maybe the birds are flocking to you and the squirrels and the rabbits are running up to you and that type of thing. But there is somebody that is in your midst that is almost like a Maleficent character from Snow White. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. It was almost like the raging bull. It's like somebody's trying to bring that out. And so you might find in May, I think, you know, we'll see what the tarot cards say here. But I think in May you might find that you're trying to really just stay in your grounded kind of magical little place, because that's where you're happiest, when you're most productive, and when you feel that you're at your best. We do have Between Worlds, so you might feel like you have one foot in an old situation and one foot in a new situation, and you're not quite out of one thing and into another. You also, let's see what else we get here before we get to the tarot cards. We have New Life, so something definitely is brewing for you in May. And you have Between Worlds, New Life, so there's definitely something new coming your way. And with this Awakened Awareness card, I think it definitely goes well with that. And then we have Loyal Heart. This has come out in quite a few What You Need to Know readings, and there's definitely some kind of loyalty circumstance that might come through in May. And this might really have a lot to do with being between worlds and where do your loyalties lie, and you might have some conflict about that. So with that said, I'm going to get set up and I'm going to turn the camera down and we'll see what we get with the tarot cards. Alright Taurus, so like I did say here in the beginning, that there was this feeling of just being in a magical, mystical kind of place. You might be finding that you're struggling sometimes in May between this kind of magical, mystical feeling you're going through and you know, this place that you're trying to stay put in, that's kind of magical, enchanting kind of place where you are probably just manifesting very quickly. Your thoughts can almost sometimes instantaneously produce some kind of what would be considered like a coincidental occurrence, and so you're very linked up in that type of energy. You do have, again, to recap, new life, between worlds, so there's something new coming in May, and you might have something crop up in May where your loyalty's questioned, whether you are committed to an old situation or a new situation, maybe burning the candle at both ends, or just really trying to get yourself out of one place into another. And I think you know that this is a place that you want to get to fairly quickly. And but I do feel like there's somebody that you got to be careful of in May, and I don't feel like they're very nice. You have the Seven of Swords, so I did say be careful. There's somebody that's probably not very nice. Seven of Swords, somebody isn't either honest with you. What I get, and I always go with what comes to me first before I get into the face value meaning of cards here. But to me, it's almost like they have their quiver full of arrows, and they've been shooting them at you for a long time, and you're in this really good place in May, and these arrows are just kind of missing you or ricocheting, and they're really not doing any damage. But nonetheless, you do have somebody that wants to give you a hard time. What is this about? I don't know. It could be jealousy, envy, maybe of some sort. Six of Swords, somebody you probably have walked away from, moved on from. You have new life, and you have between worlds. So there's something here saying to get your other foot out of the old. Don't keep your toes in that part of the old for very long. It's time to like completely transition into the new, and to not linger any longer in May when you know, you're dealing with this kind of new energy, to completely get out of the old and into the new. And we also have the Page of Pentacles, so you might either find you have somebody, this could represent a few things. You might have somebody who has some kind of offer of support for you in this. They might be offering you their emotional support and their advice, their own wisdom in the situation. And this could also represent some kind of money coming your way or opportunity. It doesn't necessarily directly have to be money, but I think this is more of an offer of somebody's got your back, and they're seeing your side of things and want to see you transition out of the old world into the new. And then we have the Eight of Cups, again, walking away, leaving behind everything that doesn't serve you, that's keeping you stuck. And I really think that this is the overall message for the month of May. Again, I did say this is a quick reading, a quick check-in for May. I will pull a couple more cards, and we'll see what they say. Let's see. A couple more, if there's anything for Taurus, the highest good. So in this, this Two of Cups, this either brings in an opportunity with you and another person. This could be a romantic opportunity. This could be a love offer. But I think this could very much also be just you getting back to yourself and loving yourself and caring about yourself in the way that you feel about others. And you want that kind of reciprocity. You want what you give, you want to feel that coming back at you. And I think part of this starts with really loving yourself and getting back to your true self. There's always a difference between the truth and your own truth. And without getting into a whole long dissertation about that, this is a lot about really just loving and caring for yourself. But this may also indicate, because the Page of Pentacles is here, that there is some kind of offer of support coming your way in the month of May. And finally, let's pull one more. We have, the Wheel of Fortune. So good. this is good. This is overall very good. And on the bottom of the deck, you have the world. So Taurus, you have the world. You have the Wheel of Fortune. And, you know, I think this is pretty amazing. I think this says to get away from whoever is kind of trying to derail you. This is saying the world and a new life. Something good is coming. Between worlds, get out of the one world, get into the new world completely. Don't linger too long. You're not going to miss anything by leaving that behind. Your loyalty, to me, needs to lie within yourself and to yourself first and foremost. And when you're true to yourself, that's when amazing things can come in, because you're treating yourself and caring for yourself the same as you would want somebody else to care for you, to treat you. And finally, the awakened awareness, like did talk about this magical, mystical kind of enchanting energy in May that some of you may be having, and it's just being really grounded and connected with the elements. I think this is awesome. If you appreciate this reading, Taurus, this check-in, please take the time to subscribe, like, and share or comment. Show me something that this fit with you and made sense. And with that said, have a great rest of your day. Be safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you again.